Sportsmanlike Conduct Week 5 NFL picks. This is the Greg Quinn edition. What happened last week to your all negative line movement picks? How'd that work out for you?
I was 3-2.
Well, you went 3-2.
They weren't all like
argue.
that though. There aren't many. You don't see it on that.
I thought
on
you were
that
going,
many games really.
There weren't that
to
many.
pick 5 a week.
Okay.
You kind of have to.
But did the negative line movement games hit?
No, I mean a lot of times the negative line movement is for one reason or another. You have to, if you can't find a reason for it, it's usually a good reason to get on that game. But a lot of times, like the Carolina game this week, there was early line movement this week, but there was talk about injury and stuff like that with Jay Cutler. So that's what may have been moving it, like certain information. It wasn't just moving on its own because of money being put in. It was moving because the actual line, the game itself, the face of it was changing. So you just follow that the way it moves. So we'll see. I was 3-2. It's a winning week. Anytime you finish
It's like
above,
you can feel you can build on that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, of course.
It's
You take that every week.
It's no 1-4.
You take that every week, and I've had 2 weeks over 500, 2 weeks under. So
what do we got?
I'm right there. I got Jacksonville +1, same as Robbie. I mean,
you got
it at +1.
It's a pick 'em.
I got a pick on mine, but that's fine. It might be.
Take the +1, right? Take the point if you can get it.
Yeah. Well, I see right here. There's a -1 and a +1. However you want to go on it.
+1 for Jackson.
It's really a pick 'em either way you look at it, though. I'm
Right.
sorry. So either way, go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, I think Buffalo might go 0-16. They're really bad. Yeah, there's not really any hope at all for them. Okay, moving on. I got Green Bay as well. I'm gonna ride them all year long. The only time I haven't covered was the game against Chicago, and that doesn't.
They didn't
that
cover
game
last week. They couldn't have covered that. 2.5, 2 point. They only won.
Oh no, I didn't.
By 2 weeks.
I didn't have them last week.
Yeah.
No one picked that though.
No.
Okay.
But I had them the first 3 weeks,
Okay.
and they covered. They covered against
So you're going
Philly.
back
I'm going back to them. Yeah,
Alright.
I'm 2-1 with them so far.
Okay.
I don't see any reason why they can't beat Washington. Just win the game, heads up. It's 2.5 points, less than a field goal.
Yeah.
The Giants +3 at Houston.
Makes Rob happy.
Giants.
I like the G-men.
Woo.
Yeah, we were talking about before the show. I think Houston's
+3?
getting that.
Giants +3.
Giants +3
On the road.
Okay.
We were talking about it before the show, though. Houston gives up a lot of passing yards.
Yes.
And the Giants have a great passing game.
They do. They can throw the ball. They're capable of throwing the ball. And Houston, I think
Houston's good.
they're good. No,
Houston's
and
good.
I'm not taking anything away from Houston because I
And the
love Houston.
line seems about right, but I just think that Coughlin teams, like, they play better once their back is pushed up against the wall. You know, they always go. I think they're hitting like their bad point of the season, the part where media's getting in their face and there's talk of turnover. It's hitting early, and if they respond the way they usually do to that sort of talk,
Yeah.
it could be good for them. And let's face it, the line is whereas if this game was 2 or 3 weeks ago, the Giants might have been a favorite in this game, or first week of the season. It's entirely possible.
Yeah, you're right.
Giants defense looked good, obviously against the Bears last
There's
week.
going to be a lot of pass rush from
I'm not-
both teams.
I'm not expecting-
Mario Williams from Houston too. They need to find a way to stop him, or at least slow him
I'm
down.
not expecting Schaub to sit there and hold on to the ball and take all those sacks like Jay Cutler did.
No.
That was kind of
Yeah.
ridiculous.
No.
And well, that too has to go with the Chicago defenses or offensive line is pretty atrocious.
Right.
They've been bad all year, and they haven't. It doesn't mean they made an effort to get better at protecting Jay Cutler. He's like Keanu Reeves in the replacements. They just let him run by and just get this.
The Houston offense is good.
They're
If
good.
the Giants don't get a pass rush on them, they're going to get shredded, and they might get shredded anyways.
Yeah.
But they do have a very good pass rush. I'm taking the Giants though. I think they're going to be able to move the ball fairly easily as well. So
Well, if you look at Houston in the last game against Oakland, they let up 31-24 or 24-31 was the final of that game. They let 31 points to Oakland. They're just outscored.
24. They let up.
Okay, 24 to Oakland. I mean, Oakland doesn't really have that good of a defense. At 24, I mean, they haven't scored 24 points all year, or good on offense. They haven't scored 24 points all year, and Houston's just outscored them. Do you think they're not going to be able to do that against the Giants? I think they're going to have to play. They're going to play both sides of the ball, and the Giants are extremely capable of scoring and keeping points. Keeping close to
Pace.
Houston at least. Yeah.
What's
okay.
next?
Next, I got New Orleans -6.5 at Arizona. Arizona has only played one other quality football team this year. It was the Falcons, and they got spanked.
41-10,
They played San Diego.
Or was it San Diego?
It was San Diego.
and they got beat by Atlanta as well. I
They
believe.
played all three and I think they got
Yep.
crushed by both San Diego and Atlanta.
Yeah.
Like 41-7 in both
Okay,
games.
2 games though. They're not good.
Right.
No.
They've had the most
New Or-
lopsided losses. Of any
New Orleans
team.
does have a couple of injuries though, so we'll see. They should be all right.
Yeah, the only two teams they beat is the Rams and Oakland. They lost 41-10 against San Diego and 41-7 against Atlanta. So yeah.
I know
About that.
I know Tracy Porter is out. He's basically their weak side corner most of the time. They have Jabari Greer.
Mhm.
Not sure how much he would have been matching up against Fitzgerald.
That's
I
the key
think
for Arizona. They need to get Fitzgerald going. Their
They need to
quarterback
get
play.
their running game going.
Max Hall will be starting at quarterback in this
Yeah.
game for Arizona Cardinals.
Their only hope is to get their running game going and shorten the game. That's
Do
the
you
only
think-
way. That's the only way they stand a chance even against New Orleans. I mean,
Do you
the only
think
way.
that their coach feels like an idiot for letting Matt Leinart go now, or do you
Is
think?
he?
Yeah. Do you think he cares?
No,
I don't know.
I don't think they'd be
But
any
Derek-
better with Matt Leinart.
I don't either, but I don't know. Derek Anderson, do you really thought that was going to last the entire year? That lasted 2 games. He's awful. He was awful in the Browns. He had 1 good year.
But it's painful watching Matt Leinart out there though.
Yeah, it is pretty bad.
What's next? We got one more game.
Okay,
right?
one more. I got Dallas -7
Dallas -7.
at home
I'll get
against
Zach happy.
Tennessee
Tennessee, their
in
offense
Jimmy's
hasn't,
world.
Tennessee hasn't really been.
Jerry's world, sorry.
Tennessee hasn't really been doing much on offense at all.
Yeah, I don't.
Chris Johnson's having the post 2000 year.
Yeah.
The wide,
Strong.
the wide receivers of Tennessee aren't going to be able to. That's going to be a key matchup for me. Is the D-backs of Dallas against the wide receivers of Tennessee are just far more talented, far more physical. You'll see Mike Jenkins, Terrence Newman, those guys. They're physical players. I expect at least 1 turnover out of that group right there.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Flip it around though. Who do you think the Titans defense is going to cover anybody on the Dallas wide receivers?
They got guys too, but last year they gave up a lot of yards in the passing game, a lot. So I mean, they have players that I could name off that are definitely quality players. Cortland Finnegan, Chris Hope. Help me out. Who's there? Michael Griffin is their other safety.
Yeah,
Who 2 years ago had a monster year and is a good player like Chris Hope, Pro Bowler.
They took a
Finnegan,
tough loss
Pro
this
Bowler.
past week too.
They got guys back there, but
Tennessee.
they were like last in the league last year in passing yardage allowed.
Their
Right?
first,
Because there were like
half-
4 or 5 games where they just got like
lit up.
400 yards every game.
Still, that doesn't happen to the best players.
No.
To me,
I'm so scared of Des Bryant as a wide receiver, and Roy Williams is starting to scare me too. He's starting to show signs that how he should have been when the Dallas first got him.
He's had one good game.
But I don't know.
One good game.
At least he's showing signs of being better than he was last year.
Don't get me wrong. I went out and picked him up in like every fantasy league that I'm in.
Okay.
honestly though, like even players who are not good, that are just decent players, have huge games every once in a while.
This is Miles
You know,
Austin.
it's hard if you're a player who at least plays regularly. It's hard to not go out once at least every like 7 or 8 weeks and grab a huge week. It's hard not to,
You're right.
or at least once a year or whatever.
I'm sorry. Des Bryant scares me. If I'm on the other side of the ball, Des Bryant scares me. He is just
They got weapons.
fast,
Fair.
strong.
Roy Williams, Des Bryant, and Miles Austin.
Yeah. And then
And Jason
Jason
Witten in the
Witten.
middle.
yeah, and they can run the ball. Felix Jones and
If they can ever get all those weapons going, their offense is really scary.
Yeah.
They haven't. I don't know how they've gotten off to this slow of a start though. No balance. They had no balance so
it's
far.
all right. That's the way Dallas
They're
is.
coming. They're coming back though. I think we got to
I like
end
your
it. So
pick,
Greg,
Yeah, I like a
Roll
couple
back,
of picks
Greg.
that you guys had too.
30
Like
seconds.
Jacksonville, Green Bay, Giants, Saints, Cowboys.
All right.
There it
There
is.
you have it. Building momentum after a winning week last week.
No numbers.
That's how you do
I
it.
can go with any numbers.
I didn't either. It's an off week on numbers. All right.